What up, everybody? We're just hours away from the Raising Kanan Season 4 finale, and when the Raising Kanan social media accounts posted the Episode 10 trailer, the caption read that the Southside ain't gonna be the same after this. That lets us know that the Season 4 finale could potentially be a series-altering episode that will change the Southside Jamaica Queens forever. In Season 1, early 1991, the Thomas family were a very close family who had weekly dinners together at Lamont's Diner. It was said that Unique was the biggest dealer on the South Side, and at this point in time, Snaps and Pop weren't even in the picture because they were retired. And now as we approach the Raising Kanan Season 4 finale, we're in early 1993, and a lot has changed over the last 2 years. First off, being that the Thomas family isn't as close as they once were. They haven't had a family dinner together since Season 2. Both of Kanan's best friends are dead now. He found out that Rock been lying to him his whole life about who his father was, and that it was actually a cop, Malcolm Howard. And when Kanan found out the truth in Season 2, the Thomas family hadn't been the same since. Part of the reason being, at the end of Season 1, Rock asked Kanan to kill a man, and that man being Malcolm Howard, only for Rock to smoke Howard right in front of Kanan at the end of Season 3. And over the last 2 years, Rock has become the biggest dealer on the South Side, after taking Unique off the board at the end of Season 1 by sending him to jail. But throughout the course of Season 4, we've seen Unique going through the course of rebuilding his kingdom. We even saw Rock and Unique go from rivals in the streets to hooking up in Season 3. Only for when Unique recovered from his head injury to get it twisted in his mind that Rock had something to do with trying to kill him. Episode 9 concluded with Rock and Lou showing up at Unique's tailor shop, and Unique and Rock coming face to face. We also have to remember at the conclusion of Season 2 that Unique saved Rock's life from the Italian hitters. While Snaps and Pop, known as Bonnie and Clyde on the South Side, came out of retirement to fund Kanan and Ronnie's venture. But since coming out of retirement, they've been getting their hands dirty and got a couple bodies on them now, and trying to cover their tracks could come back to bite them. So concerning the major players on the South Side, the Thomas family, Unique, and Snaps and Pop, there will be something major going down this episode that could potentially change the lives of all these characters. Part of the reason why we could potentially see a couple of these characters taken off the board in the finale and the rest of their lives change moving forward is because Season 5 of Raising Kanan will likely be the bridge season between Raising Kanan and Power Book Origins. Because either though it's not official yet, it's expected that Season 5 will be the final season of Raising Kanan, because Origins was announced over a year ago, and Season 5 has already finished filming, and there's been no news about Season 6 being confirmed or being in production. So out of the main characters I mentioned, the Thomas siblings, Unique, Snaps, and Pop, we could see some of them getting killed, maybe a couple of them going to jail, and maybe even somebody leaving New York and going on the run. The Episode 10 trailer shows Rock telling Unique that they both got family. If hers is fair game, then so is his. Then it shows Lulu in a car possibly targeting Panessa. Keep it in mind that Unique moved Panessa and Jerome into an apartment uptown away from the South Side and warned her not to go back. But Panessa was telling Unique about her mother's dialysis. This definitely wasn't mentioned for no reason, and I think it's likely that Panessa violates Unique's orders and will get caught on the South Side by Lou. But also keep in mind what Unique told Panessa when he moved her into that apartment and told her to stay there. He told her he's been dead before and he's not dying again for nobody, not her or Jerome. So if Lou possibly snatches Panessa up as a bargaining chip, Unique might snap, but it likely won't be enough to move him. But at the same time, I don't see the Thomas family taking out Panessa or Jerome. But whatever they do might be enough to scare them or get them to leave town, and this would impact Unique's character moving forward. But that wouldn't be enough for the Southside to never be the same again, like the social media post said. I think one of the Thomas siblings will get taken out. And like I said in another video a few days ago, just because they're all in the season 5 announcement video doesn't mean they all survive into season 5. One of them could potentially be in season 5 as a hallucination or dream, similar to how Angela Valdez appeared in Power Season 6. To make the biggest impact on the show in Kanan and Jukebox character development moving forward, that would be if something happened to Marvin or Rock. And either though I hope they both make it, and they're both still alive somewhere on the current Power timeline, I also acknowledge that there's a good possibility that at least one of them could get taken out in the finale. There's also the possibility that Luke could get taken out now that he's returning to the streets, and we can see how this would impact not just Kanan and Juke, but also Rock and Marvin in season 5. But like I said, there's a possibility that they could also end up behind bars, especially because things are kind of hot for both Lou and Marvin right now because of their recent kills. So there's a lot of way we could see the Thomas siblings storyline going in this finale. Either death, jail, fleeing town, or maybe they all survive and we'll see them all alive and well in season 5. Then there's also the handshake with whoever Kanan's meeting at the end of the episode 10 trailer. If this is Kanan meeting Breeze, this would definitely be a connection that the Southside won't be the same after. I heard about the supposed Raising Kanan season 4 picture that had the metadata saying that Kanan was meeting up with Breeze, whose name is Branford Frady, played by Shamik Moore. And either though Shamik Moore will be in season 5, I give that picture and metadata a very small percentage chance of being legit, because anybody can edit the metadata of a picture, just like the metadata from the picture I got on the screen saying Unique is revealed as Breeze, because that's who I think is Breeze and who Kanan's shaking hands with in the episode 10 trailer. Keep it in mind that the trailer also shows Snap telling Kanan that they could bring together him and Unique, and it would be an ideal arrangement for all the parties involved. So to me it makes the most sense that they're connecting him with Unique, because other than Unique and Rock, we know of nobody else running the Southside over the last decade. And I think a lot of people who never been in the life might not understand that you just don't come up overnight. It's not like going to college and applying for a job. In the dope game, you usually start at the bottom. Coming up in the dope game takes time, especially if you don't even have your own pack that you're flipping. And especially in an area as competitive as the Southside Jamaica Queens. Someone's just not going to show up, set up shop, and become the boss. So we'll see how it goes down in just a few hours in the season 4 finale. And something else that the Southside won't be the same after is when Kanan meets Jamie St. Patrick and Tommy Egan. With all the talk about Kanan meeting Breeze in the finale, could that be a red herring? And could Kanan actually meet Ghost and Tommy in the finale instead? Not saying that's who Kanan's shaking hands with in the teaser. I don't think that's who it is at all, because Ghost and Tommy are too young to be connected to Snaps and Pop. But maybe Unique, or if it's somebody else that Kanan's shaking hands with in the trailer, maybe they don't get revealed as Breeze in episode 10. But the big reveal could possibly be Kanan meeting Ghost and Tommy, and we still might have to wait even more to officially find out who Breeze is. And there you have it. Let me know in the comments your prediction for tonight's episode, and why do you think the social media accounts said that the Southside ain't gonna be the same after this, as well as your thoughts, theories, and predictions.